Hey guys, how y'all doing? This is Bobby Davis, the founder of Coder Foundry. It's another beautiful day here in the tech capital of the world, Kernersville, North Carolina. I'm here with Kevin Doyle, my producer extraordinaire. Hey Kevin, how you doing?
Good. How are you? I sometimes forget we're the tech capital of the North Carolina, of the world.
Of the world. Everything of Providence, anything important is made in Kernersville.
I sometimes forget how important Kernersville is. If you say it enough, it just becomes true.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So we people noticed the sweet new intro today. That was sweet.
Yeah, we did a little thing today. Yeah. I don't know if it seemed like at one point I was listening to it back then and it sounded fast. I was like, did it speed up? I don't know. It might be a variable thing. But I was like, that's interesting. But
Adam Brooks said it reminded me of the lottery drawing.
Oh, okay. Hey, maybe there's a thing here today. Maybe there's something to win. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that means Adam should go buy a ticket. Like
maybe it does. Right now. I see that. Yeah. What's your numbers, Adam? Share them.
Share your numbers.
Put your numbers up there. Let's say hey to somebody. So Adam's here. He said hey, of course. Mark's here too. Welcome back, Mark. Yeah. We got some questions too early. So Stian's back again. Yeah, MSV's here. What do we have here?
He wants to
look at this. Some yeah, that's funny.
Oh man, you know what, Raphael, you need to use that temperate literal for that. Come on, man.
He's using string concatenation here. Yeah. We don't go for that anymore. We're all about temperate literals. So if you want to refactor that, temperate literals, that'd be cool. That would be cool. And yeah, we don't have gifts. Sorry.
Sorry.
The gift of just hanging out.
Yeah.
With us. We have a gift of a guest, which we're talking about.
Yeah, we do have a guest today.
Cool. You guys can hang with a guest, so that's cool. Stian liked our intro. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Glenn's here too. Talal's here. Tom's here. Thank you for all joining us. Saber's here. David's back. Hey, David.
Yeah.
So we got the whole crowd. Dracula's back.
Dracula.
Well, Dracula says I have great taste. I guess it's not Dracula. It's a buddy of Dracula who says he has great taste. So.
Okay. Does that mean you were bitten by Dracula? I mean, I wonder what that means.
I don't know. Oh, the gift
of knowledge. Yes, we're giving out the gift of knowledge.
Says Raphael, who got a hat and a duck.
Yeah, so, exactly. He got an actual gift. He got an actual gift.
That's pretty funny.
So
that's funny.
All right, cool. Ask some questions today. Today we're going to look at a student portfolio, and we also have one of our recent grads, Shanese Black, here on the show today.
Awesome.
So we're going to show her thing off, but the other thing is she got a job, which is amazing.
Yes, that's
in the middle of COVID pandemic. She got a job, which we're really proud of her. Super smart girl.
Yep, very, very.
Cool. Be impressed with her. So.
Yep, definitely. If you do have questions throughout this, put them in chat. Let me know.
Yeah.
If you want to come on too, you can. Let me see. Down at the bottom there, if you want to come on, you can DM at Coder Foundry on Twitter, and we can put you on too, and you can ask a question live if you wanted to. That'd be cool too.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to ask some questions live, that'd be kind of cool.
Okay. So let's
bring Shanese on.
Yeah, let's bring Shanese on. Here we go. You ready, Shanese? Okay, I got a yes.
All right. Hey, Shanese, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you all doing?
Hey, good. Thanks for coming on, talking to us today. So first, we want to give you congrats on getting a job. I know you're excited about that, right?
Yes, thank you.
So, in fact, next week is your birthday, so you were saying that's a great gift to yourself.
Yes.
So a birthday on Tuesday, the job on Monday.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You just graduated from Coder Foundry. How did that go?
It was great. Honestly, it was the best experience I've had yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we worked hard on that. So, and then it got kind of weird at the end when, COVID was just coming in and stuff like that. But it worked out well.
Yeah, we still finished strong. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a, she said, JC says, congrats, Shanese.
Thank you.
So that's cool. So does Matt. And we know Matt. Matt's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Matt.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So what was the most challenging thing you think? What was the hardest part of it now that you're done?
The hardest part, without a doubt, was the bug checker.
Okay. Yeah.
That was because, we were moving at such a fast pace and had, sprints each week, weekly sprints and deadlines that we had to meet. So that was the hardest part, but it was a good challenge. We learned a lot from it. And in the end, we could finally breathe like, yes, I did it. I can't believe I did it. So
yeah, it does look daunting at first, where you feel like we're asking too much, but then when we break it up, it makes it, you can definitely get there, what you did. So
yeah,
it's pretty impressive, the work you did. So why don't you show us your portfolio real quick and show other everyone around the world here?
Okay. All right, here's my portfolio. Can you all see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So here's my portfolio here, and basically I took a template and I just made it pretty unique to me. I took this and made my own signature in Adobe Illustrator. I took my own picture here and I cartooned it in Adobe Photoshop. Of course, I changed the text here to put my name and my title.
Okay, cool.
And I like your menu bar there.
Yeah, I love
Thank
that.
you.
I like the rollover part too. That little bit that comes down, it's super good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So how did you do your I'm curious now. I didn't ask you in the pre-production, but I'm gonna ask you now. How did you do your signature? How did you do that?
Actually, it's just the font. So I found a font that I liked and I installed it on my PC and I bought it into Illustrator and I just used that to type my name and in Illustrator, of course, you can edit it, bring it as close as you need or, space it out as far as you would like. So that's how I did that. I just chose a font.
Right. Okay, cool. And then you just like link to that font and with like a link statement inside your HTML?
Right. Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, it's cool. So like what's I think is interesting about your background, let's go look at your education. You have a ton of education here. I mean, like,
yes.
So, and then you also have some great experience too. So like you've been to Guilford Tech and you just graduated with your bachelor's in graphic communications, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So how were you doing the boot camp and A&T at the same time, which I think you were doing that, right?
Yeah, well, I actually only had one class left this spring semester. So I was doing that class online. I had finished everything else last semester, fall of 2019. So I just did that class online and I put it all into the boot camp. So that's how I was able to complete that.
Okay, cool.
That's awesome. Daniel Henry has a question, which we'll talk about, which we're going to see in a second. But is it a good idea to add my blog in my portfolio?
I think so.
I actually have it down here.
Right. So there you go. Yeah. And your blog is actually about it's professional, right? In terms of its content.
Yeah. So if I click here, it will take you directly to that blog. And I was just giving a progress update. That was the requirement for this particular project is each week we worked on it. We actually had to, put a blog, use this application, to show that we're using it and it's functional. So yeah, I actually would give updates on my progress with, the bug tracker or the blog.
Okay, cool. So what's made you go from graphic design into like full stack development? Like what's switching in your mind there?
Well, honestly, I've done web development since high school. I think my junior year in high school, that's when I actually started out as doing web development. And once I started working, my college career, I heard everyone tell me, you're really good with computer side, geared towards IT. I did IT, and I was like, I'm really not feeling IT too much. I started my own business, designing and printing T-shirts. So that's why I went back for graphic design.
Okay.
However, at A&T, the curriculum for graphic design or the program also has a web development portion in it too. So I was taking both tracks and I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. I like coding. I have both the front end and the back end knowledge. So that's what led me back to Coder Foundry to pursue the full stack development career because I'm good at both, but I really enjoy more so the coding aspect of it.
Okay, cool.
But my experience with being a graphic designer makes me a better front end designer and, also a coder on the back end side too.
Okay. So there's a question. The guy wants to know about that nav bar.
I think Brian was asking on the nav bar. You have, I think he means jQuery. Did you use jQuery on the nav bar?
Or is that a Bootstrap Nav Bar? Do you remember? I know we have a template, but
this is a Bootstrap Nav Bar here.
Yeah, and that's what people don't understand about Bootstrap is that you can really make it look cool. You don't have to like just use the dark gray background at the very top. It's placed kind of in the middle on the bottom of what I call the hero image or the Jumbotron at the top. I like the placement of the menu. It's kind of cool. And then it stacks at the top. It stays at the top when you scroll.
Yes.
That's neat.
It's cool. So. Kevin here also said that he switched from graphic to full stack as well. So it seems like a fairly common path for people to go to. It's interesting. He also loves your color scheme too. So I agree. It's super good. I love it.
Super cool.
Ryan says excellent work too.
So how did you like the one thing I noticed too about your photo there is you did colorize it, but it kind of goes along with the other color schemes too. Like if you notice your hair has like an orange tint to it on the outside, and that kind of goes with the about me and the skills drop down. So
yeah,
that's kind of cool. Was that by accident or did you like kind of colorize it the correct way or what did you do there?
Oh no, I colorized it. I actually the original photo here, I did have on a blue shirt. So I wanted to match the picture with the template, so that it flows correctly. So yeah, I actually did some editing with the colors as well. Just a little bit, not too much.
Okay. It looks good. I mean, like a lot of times people don't go to that detail where the colors are complementary or at least go together.
Right.
Or they're so I think you did a good job there. It's pretty neat.
Here you go. Next Rank is asking, did you do a prototype for the website before you did all the customization, or did you just jump in?
No, I jumped right into it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do sometimes, just jump in and you're kind of liking it. So
yeah.
I make changes as I went along. I'll try something like, I don't like that. Let me change this.
That's the way I do things too. I'm definitely an iterative designer when it comes to that stuff. I got to see it. I got to and then I'll be like, I don't like that, and I'll change it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's important too. I think we work on the portfolios for the entire 12 weeks, pretty much. I think you're always kind of messing around with it.
Yeah, I definitely did.
Okay. So did you show your portfolio during your interviews, or how did you use it? Did you show it?
Yeah. I've showed my portfolio. This is the first thing everyone's taking a look at. And even when I interviewed with potential employers, I asked them firsthand, hey, did you get a chance to look at my portfolio? And a lot of them were like, yeah, I have your portfolio here. I liked how you did this. So yeah, my portfolio definitely, I would say, helped with me landing a job. It was very important, to the employers and important to me because, that's a way for them to get to see what I can do and, see how serious they are about hiring me. If you took a look at my portfolio, I know you're, really interested in getting to know me and my work. So yeah, I definitely showed that off.
Yeah. I think it breaks down barriers too. Like whether you're a lady, African-American or whatever, it breaks down a lot of barriers that people may not think may think one way, and then you show them portfolio, and that I think it helps you get in the door and break down barriers. How do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree. And, they say women, we tend, to pay a lot more attention to detail. And so I think with me, like, for instance, you say you like how I use the colors here to blend, they definitely pay attention to that and see how I use the different color schemes to definitely grab the end user's attention. Like, for instance, I want to scroll down here and show you, I customized all of these logos for each application that I built. And I customized this for the challenges here. And I did that because I know that if I do that and keep the color scheme, consistent, that will grab the user's attention.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, exactly. I think so too.
Definitely.
Well, let's take a look at the bug tracker because we talk about that a lot. Let's take a look at your bug tracker.
I have one question too before we get going. Somebody asked how much time it took to complete the project. So how much time do you spend on your portfolio?
Well, like Bobby said, we did work on it for the full 12 weeks. I mean, as far as, getting everything in place, I think we did that in about 2 weeks. And then as we worked on these different projects here, I just went back and, tweaked some things and changed things. I did a lot with these icons here with these, like for instance,
these hover overs are super cool. I like them.
Yeah, so I just would go back and make changes to it. Like for instance, I didn't like the color scheme here of these logos, so I would like go back and say, hey, I'm really not liking that this week. Let me change it. So it was, the full 12 weeks we just tweaking it, but as far as steady, just going at the portfolio, about a week or two.
Yeah, exactly. And then we move on to the blog, then the bug tracker, and then our financial portal.
All right, so you have some people using your bug tracker too. Shane's here, and we know Shane. He's created a new project and ticketing your bug tracker. He's been playing with it already, so I'm probably going to see some people's work in there.
Okay, that's kind of fun.
Wow.
You got new tickets in there.
Okay, cool.
Shane is the developer. So
that's funny.
Right,
let's take a look.
Let's take a look. So stop right there. I like this, and I think this is important that everyone can learn is that when you're building portfolio things, having a landing page is really important to like making sure that the hiring manager, whatever, really gets the gist of what you're doing instead of just a blank login page. So How did you do this? Walk us through what you were thinking there.
I was thinking the same thing. We need a landing page, and also, no offense to anyone, but I was looking at, previous students' work, and I saw that they didn't have a landing page. They would just take you right to the login screen. So I'm like, hey, when I saw that, I said, let me research other, ticketing software. So I looked up like Jira, for instance, and I saw that a lot of them had landing pages with walkthroughs or screenshots on what to expect or how the application would look once they logged in. So I took that and I just created my own. For this, I use, again, Adobe Illustrator, and I just took, these are my own screenshots for my application here. And I just put them here into these, the smartphone, the iPad, and the PC screen here. And you scroll down here, I have more screenshots here of, what to expect when you log in or the views that you'll see when you log into this application.
Okay, cool.
See, I love this approach. You productized your app. You basically made you named it, you created a landing page, like you made it a product, like it would be a real product.
Right.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. So how did you come up with the name there? That's a UBI fix. Is that that's how you say it, or?
You be fixed. You break it, I fix it.
Okay. I like it.
That is a good name.
All right.
That is a great name.
You break, I fix. I get it now. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like it.
Wilfredo had a question. He always had actually nice landing page. Yusuf had a question. Mobile first or desktop first?
Desktop.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it is built in Bootstrap, right? So let's talk about the stack a little bit. What did you build this with?
MVC.net.
Okay, and Bootstrap in the front end?
Yeah, Bootstrap on the front end. Again, I took another template and, just customized it, made it my own.
Okay, cool. Well, let's log in here and check it out. It's just so everyone can see it.
I want to log in as admin because admin has the most functionality.
Okay. And I'll kind of like narrate this a little bit. A lot of things we do in Coder Foundry is we make these demo logins, so it's real easy for someone to use it. So we think that's real important for it to do too. And now, okay, cool.
And this is my dashboard. Again, all this is Bootstrap. Here are the cards. You click it, a modal pops up, and we have a jQuery data table here to populate the data.
Okay.
And then again, these are jQuery charts here, this bar chart here, this scroll bar, this Bootstrap.
Okay.
That's cool. I like that little scroll bar.
It's pretty neat.
It is.
So how are you getting stuff in there? So like in that little scroll bar, how did you do that?
Actually using a link statement. So what I did first, I created a model for this particular view. So this dashboard is a view model. Mm-hmm. And then I used, depending on who's logged in the controller, if you're logged in as admin, I have it set to where the admin can see everything.
Okay.
And so this data here is being pulled from the controller for the admin. And I just listed back to the view. So this here is just through the use of link through the controller.
Okay. Neat. All right, cool. We have someone wants to ask a question down at the bottom, Kevin. How much C#?
This one?
Yeah.
How much C# did you know before Coder Foundry?
None.
Yeah, 0. So that's cool. All right, cool. So
But you were familiar with the front end technologies, right? That was including JavaScript.
Right. So yeah, I have my associate's degree in computer programming. So, but we did, of course, SQL, Python, C++. So I had experience with other programming languages, but as far as C#, I never coded using C#. So this was my first time. But like I tell anyone, all the programming language, they literally go hand in hand. It's just slightly different contexts, but it's pretty much all the same across the board. But at least for me, that's
right.
the way I took it.
Yeah. Now we definitely say that once you know one, it's like it's easier to transition to another.
It's easier to do it. So, all right, cool. So take us to like all right, Fiona says she's impressed, Shanese.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's super good. There's a lot of people in here that are impressed.
Right. Okay. It's cool. It's impressive. It's really good. So how long did it take you to build this bow tracker? And then we'll go into like we'll edit a ticket and stuff like that. So like how long did it take us to build this?
4 weeks.
Okay. And that's 4 weeks every day, right?
Yes, every day.
Like a lot of hours in those 4 weeks, right?
Yes, every day. From the time you get to Coder Foundry, even to the time you get home and go to bed.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of cool. Take me through like editing a ticket. And so explain to the users like what a ticket is and like how it works. And then let's just go through the edit process.
Okay, so you would use this like pretty much in IT, for instance, whenever an issue arises, an end user will submit a ticket saying, hey, I need help with this. And then the ticket would then be sent to whoever, is responsible for working that particular ticket. So I'm going to actually, let me go to this one. I want to go to one. Trying to find one that I've already made comments on before. Well, while that loads, so the end user submit a ticket. The ticket would then get routed to a particular team. And then here, like for instance, if I were the developer, I could go in and say, hey, this ticket is in progress. This user said that this ticket had an urgent priority. It may not be as urgent as they think it is. We're gonna, change it to
right. Everything's urgent.
Everything's urgent. All right.
Yeah. You could just edit it here. Also have the ability, if I was logged in as a project manager, but I'm logged in as admin, so I can do everything. I can assign it to, a developer. And of course here, you get the title, the description, who submitted it, when they submitted it. And if the submitter added an attachment, it will appear here. And we can just click and download it to view it.
Okay, like a screenshot or something like that, like a
right.
Okay.
Right. But that's that. I'm gonna click to assign.
And those developer drop downs are just like placeholder names, but that would show like a real name, like Brian or somebody like that using it, or Shane.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Shane's already been on it, so.
Yeah. So this would just list all the developers, and then once I assign it to someone, I can just confirm it, save.
Right. Kind of cool.
Very cool.
Thank you.
And I will say this, if you're watching, it does take a minute for stuff to save, and that's the Azure free tier. That's just the way it is. It's not the, so anyways, that's kind of cool. So talk about the dashboard. How did you do those charts, the pie charts? You're using a plugin for that?
Like jQuery.
Okay. Just straight jQuery, or were you using like Morse charts or anything like that, or?
No, just straight jQuery. And again, I use the model, the dashboard view model, to populate this data here. So this again is using link. And honestly, this chart here is just a pie chart representation of the data here. So like the new tickets, 22, you hover over, you see it's the same thing. 22 new tickets, 13 in progress, 15 urgent, and 35 that have not yet been resolved. Some people are more visual, so that's why I did it that way. I'm more of a numbers person, so I like this here. That's why I placed it here on these cards. But I know there are some people who like to look at charts or read charts better, so that's why I implemented this here, this pie chart.
Yeah.
Here you go. Chris Louis, something like that has a question. Can you elaborate on your biggest challenges for the front end and back end of the project?
My biggest challenge was, like I said before, I never coded using C#. I never used MVC, .NET framework, none of that. So that was my biggest challenge, just adapting to a new programming language. My biggest challenge on the front end would definitely be these charts. I never used Bootstrap or anything. So having to use, the jQuery charts and just getting the data to display properly, that would be my biggest challenge. Like, for instance, I'm very particular about things. So I wanted to make sure all of these align correctly. As you can see here, these are all the same height. So working with Bootstrap, jQuery charts, everything on the front end was a challenge. And then on the back side, just coming from having that C++ experience, the Python experience, and transitioning over to C#, that was my biggest challenge on the back end. SQL was not too much of a hassle for me because I knew SQL prior, but I must say I enjoy LINQ a lot more than writing, full SQL statements prior.
Right. That's kind of cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like it.
If I may I show you the reports that I implemented?
This is you added on. We didn't ask you to do this. I like this because you dreamed this up on your own. So it wasn't even our spec.
Yeah, so
this is a cool feature.
Yeah, so working with IT, we work with reports on like a daily basis. Like, for instance, me in my role, I ran reports like every day. So I just decided to implement this. I have 3 different reports here. A full ticket report. This ticket report allows you to select a category, and the projects report here allows you to select the project. And that's the report I'm actually going to run here. Okay, so I'm gonna select the bug tracker to generate the report from. And it's just going to give me a report for all the tickets that were submitted for the bug tracker. So here, it gives me, the bug tracker project, all the tickets, and here I can actually filter. Again, this is the jQuery data chart. I can actually type in here and it will give me, for instance, all the new tickets, or I can delete that and it'll give me, all the tickets for the bug tracker. I can copy this report. I can export it as a CSV, Excel, PDF. I can click it, it'll automatically download. And I can also print it.
Okay, cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, take it into a print view right there in that HTML. Nice.
I like giving people all the options. Was that
you.
something easy to implement, like the different formats to send it out to, or were those like individual things? I'm trying to understand that part.
Those were more so individual things. So I already had the data chart, on the dashboard. And so I had to find a way to implement this here, the export features here. Right. And I just did some more digging and research, and I just plugged it in. Again, this is all jQuery here.
Cool.
That's super neat. I like it.
Thank
Should
you.
be a feature going forward, Bobby.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I like it. Right.
See, Beth likes it too. It is apparently that feature is dead sexy, and Shane liked it too. He said nice report feature.
Right.
So,
yeah,
it's the hit.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Adam said this is above and beyond the deliverables for the bug tracker. It's true though. Yeah. And we do encourage all students to kind of do that, to make this their own project. And I think that you've done that. And that's probably why you're working right now, just because, you're definitely committed to what you're doing.
Thank
All right,
you.
let's look at the user role thing. I think that's important too, because we always talk about this is like very important to us. Like, walk us through like what these do and how they impact the system.
Okay, so as admin, they have the ability to assign user roles and remove user roles. So for instance, if someone new comes into an organization, you have to give them access to this particular program and you have to give them a role. So for instance, we have a list of users here. Oh, wow. A lot of people. I see Shane.
Shane. Let's put Shane. Let him pick something.
So Shane, I'm assuming that he registered. So
right,
you're automatically given the role of a submitter. You have limited access. But if I wanted to make Shane, an admin or developer submitter, I can do that here. So Shane, I'm going to give you admin access.
We know Shane. We're vouching for Shane. Don't mess with this, Shane.
Don't break it.
Please don't. And so this is just, me giving him access. So now when Shane logs in, he should be able to see the same dashboard here. It take me back.
There you go. He said he's moving up in the world.
He doesn't have admin at his current job, so that's good now.
So Shane, when you log out and log back in, your dashboard should look like this now versus prior, you didn't have these charts and this timeline here or this list of projects.
Dude, instant promotion. That's great work, Shane.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Then also have a projects view as well. Same thing with projects. I can assign the developers to and from projects. And as an admin, I can create a new project and assign a project manager to it. So like here, for instance, in the projects view, you get a list of the projects, who the project manager is, and I can easily click here and edit that, change who the project manager is. And if I was logged in as a developer or project manager, this data would be slightly different because it'll only show me the projects pertaining, to the user that's logged in. But since I'm logged in as admin, I get a list of all projects, all tickets. So this is slightly different, per role. Of course, like I said before, admins get to see everything. So that's why this data here is showing all the tickets. But a developer or project manager, their numbers will be different from what we see here.
Okay, cool. So that's so walk us through how security works in MVC. How does that work? Like, how does roles get enforced and what's it doing?
As far as the roles for this application, or just in general?
How do you restrict views and like those kind of things? How does it work?
Okay, so I can show you that. So if I log off here, you have to be logged in to view anything here. So I locked it down, so you can't get into this application unless you log in with an account.
Right.
As soon as you log in, you're routed right back here to the login page. So I have that, restricted. You can't see anything. Of course, you can see, the landing page or whatnot, but submitter, I'll just demo this when you log in as a submitter.
So someone's asking a question. Life is security is a hell in .NET. Tell them how easy this is to do.
It's fairly easy. I locked it down in the controller. I locked it down in the controller and in the view. As far as like the view is concerned, the dashboard, I just only have certain things viewable for each role. So for instance, I authorize the roles. So you have to be authorized to log in. To view this dashboard or view anything in this application. But as far as this particular view, for instance, the dashboard view, the submitter role only gets to see this portion of this view. However, the developer, the project manager, admins, they get to see the charts, the timelines, and etc.
Okay, cool.
So I locked it down both on the back end side and the front end.
Okay. And do you remember how the back end is locked down in the controller, what you have to do in there? Do you remember how that works?
Yeah, I authorize the roles in the controller. So right above the actual I was about to say object. I'm sorry. The action, thank you. Right above the action, I'll authorize the role. So authorize user role. If you are admin, you have access to this.
Okay, cool. So I think that's good. I mean, like a lot of I think for .NET and specifically MVC, locking down views, controller actions is fairly easy to do. I mean,
yes, it is.
To do, and it's powerful too. So cool.
Yes.
All right, awesome. So what else can you show us about this thing? We still have some time.
Okay, so for instance, I could show you how to submit a ticket because I'm logged in as a submitter.
All right.
I'll show you how we can do that.
Somebody was asking what's MVC in the chat.
All right.
MVC is the means by which we create this project or web application. So for instance, your model, that is your skeleton of the entire project. Your view is like the view, the HTML page that we're seeing now. And the controller, it controls how the data is stored. Like for instance, if we're storing it in a database, it controls how the data is stored. And it also controls how that data is sent back to the view. So for instance, this view here, I'm logged in as a submitter. So I controlled these drop downs here. I have this data all stored in a table in a database, and I get to control what priorities or what list of priorities I wanted to be able to display here in this view.
Okay, cool.
Very cool.
Thank you. And then here, I have the ability to select a file.
And we'll see if it submits. Should. Hopefully it works. There we go. All right. Yeah. Demos are always scary, no matter how many times you've done. So.
And even Shane noted that, like he says, I hope this works while she's live.
Yeah, exactly.
That's always the case, right? Always the case.
I always feel like
it's going to fail when you're showing somebody.
Yeah, I always feel like when I'm demoing stuff, I always feel like I'm rooting for the website. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Like it's some kind of like that'll help. So
maybe it does. There's some global, some like worldly, like after power that like you gotta
the coding guides.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So this is the details of that ticket that I just submitted. There's no data here because it hasn't been assigned to a developer as of yet. It hasn't been resolved or anything updated. So once that happens, of course, this data will populate here. And another thing about the ticket details is we have a thread of comments with the ability to attach a file here.
Mm-hmm.
And each ticket also has a ticket history. So for instance, if the status or a priority changed, it will be listed here. Then over here, I also implemented a thread of attachments. So for instance, if you just wanted to add an attachment without leaving a comment, you can do that easily here. And if you would like, I can log in as a developer to show you.
Cool. See, I'll talk to the crowd a little bit. Like, you see how these demo logins makes it real easy for a hiring manager to come in and demo your app. If some of you guys are using this, you realize how a hiring manager makes them real easy for them to use the app, the software Shanese has wrote. So that's why we do it this way.
Someone's asking, Victor is asking, how did you divide the dev work? I'm guessing, like, how did you arrange it? And what did you do first and why?
How did I divide the dev work?
Yeah, I guess they're saying, like, what order did you make this in and why?
The sprints, like when we did the sprints, how did we order it up for you?
Okay. So, each week we had deliverables. And so basically each week, we were assigned with tasks. I know I need to get this done this week. So pretty much how I did it was I looked at the deliverables first. I knew what I need to meet or what I needed to get done for that particular week. And I did that first. And then if I saw something neat, that I could add in or had time to add in, I would do that. And then in the end, I pretty much went back and just made it function exactly how I wanted. So for instance, when I was logged in as admin and I had the projects view, that was one of the last features that I added because I wanted to make sure that I had everything else, all of my other requirements met prior. And, you know, actually got this thing functioning. And then I went back and added, you know, certain features that I thought were pretty cool or neat.
Yeah, cool. And so did we do the front end first, or we did do model first? What do you remember? What order we did?
We did code first. So we did the models first. And then we went to scaffold out, did the controllers. But when we did code first, we did the models and created the databases for all of this data here. And then we scaffold out with the controllers. And then from that, of course, the views automatically populated.
Right. Okay. And then you go back and like make those views pretty, because scaffold views look terrible, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool.
There you go. Here's some compliments for your work. Victor says, great job, by the way. Add 849822, weird name, but there you go. I'm guessing that's just assigned. Says this is incredible. And Eclectic says the bar has been raised.
Yes.
So there you go. And we agree. It's super good work.
Cool.
Thank
you. I like this one. Like this one right here is really cool. This is Boss, Shanese. You're a code hero.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of cool.
Thank you.
Here you go. Shane says his lunch is over, so he's got to get back to work. We say, great job, Shanese, and congrats on the new job. You've earned it.
Thank you, Shane. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So Shane is a Coder Foundry grad. So like,
okay.
So I think he's doing great things where he's at. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Cool. Awesome.
But yeah, here I just wanted to show you here.
Yeah,
so
keep going. We interrupted you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's no problem. I just wanted to show you. So here you can actually see data. So here's a thread of comments with, you know, who submitted it, when they submitted it, and then like here's an attachment that I added for this particular comment. And then here's the history tab. So like I said prior, you know, you can see the status changed and when it changed. And over here is the thread of attachments that was added for this particular ticket.
Okay.
And then also developers, they have bell notifications because they get notified whenever a ticket has been assigned to them. So for instance, I can click this notification here and it will actually take me to acknowledgement because when I worked IT, you know, we would get notifications and we wouldn't read them. We're like, oh, okay, you know, or we'd read them but wouldn't acknowledge them. Sort of like a read receipt.
Right. Okay.
So,
yeah.
So I implemented this read acknowledgement, you know, so that also changes the number here. But, you know, it's like, okay, you've read this. You can't say that you didn't read it. So you've read this. You know that this is assigned to you. And I just click save and it will take you back to that particular ticket. And you can just work it directly from there.
Okay, cool.
That's cool.
That's another feature she added too. That's not in the spec from.
Yeah, I like that feature.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Just to show you what I was saying earlier. So you see here, when I was logged in as admin, I had a list of all projects and new tickets. Now, since I'm logged in as a developer, it shows me, you know, the correct numbers. I'm on 3 projects and these are the tickets pertaining to those projects.
Okay. So I'm going to show a question here. What do you think? What are some tips for new coding bootcamp grads? Shanese, what did you do to find a job? Tell them what you did.
Well, for one, I looked at Indeed every day. I actually have subscription to get email notifications whenever new jobs are posted, like for web developer or full stack developer. I get those emailed to me. And I do my research. You have to research, even when you're coding and producing these projects and applications, you have to research a lot. And when you're looking for jobs, research the company as well, because a lot of companies, you would think that you're reaching out, you know, like for instance, you may think that you're going to apply for a job directly for a particular company, and it's actually like a staffing firm. And there's nothing wrong with staffing firms, but, you know, just having that knowledge and knowing exactly, you know, who you're applying for or what you're applying for makes it, you know, a lot more easier to work with Mariana and Natasha, because they are recruiters themselves.
Right.
Right.
And so that's really what I did. I would research the company to make sure, one, it's not a staffing firm or anything. And I would look up the requirements, that they are looking, for to fill that particular position.
Okay, cool. So you had to do some work to find a job too. It was like, it's not instant, but you had to like put your time in and put the effort in.
Right. Cool. Just like we do when we produce these projects, YouTube, Google,
right.
Research.
So what's your plan for your life? I know you got a job. Mm-hmm. So you're going to do that for the time being. Like, what's your long-term plans now? What are you thinking about doing?
I actually have a few applications that I want to build on my own. Okay. Anytime I'm doing something, I'm like, hey, I should make an app for that. Or is there an app for that?
Yeah.
I'll put down in my notes, and I have a list literally that I plan of apps that I plan to produce. And I also applied for grad school while I was at Coder Foundry. So I plan to go to grad school to pursue my Master of Computer Science.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. Are you going to go to A&T for that, or different school, or?
I'm looking at A&T and NC State. I'm undecided right now, but I got two balls to decide.
Right.
That's cool. Well, whenever you have an app, you got to come back here and demo it for us.
Yeah, we'll demo it. I'm sure it'd be great.
Okay, I definitely will.
All right. Well, Shanese, thanks for coming on, and we appreciate your time. Good luck in the new role. And, if you have questions or anything while you're out there, me and Antonio are just a Teams call away. We'll help you out. So anyway.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, good luck, and thanks a lot. And any questions for the road for Shanese before she gets off? Anybody?
Let me see.
Get one for the road.
Here we go. Not a question, but just a comment. YouTube says this needs to go viral.
Okay. That's it.
You got a lot of good stuff. You can go back and look at the comments, Shanese, on the video. There's a lot of people impressed with your skills. Yeah. And here you go. I give you this one for the road. Ray Colbrand said top-notch coding and design ninja skills.
Yes. So be proud of what you built here. It's really good. And it's definitely above what most CF students do. It's really, really good. And so just keep working on it. Keep committing your craft, and I think you're going to be fine. So we're excited for you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. We'll see you later.
See you, Denise. Bye.
Thank you.
Super cool.
That's very cool. She's just got a killer demo. It's just a killer demo.
Exactly.
It's a good app.
Yeah.
It's just super good. And we have lots of people. If you're still there, Shanese says thanks for helping. Dracula says thanks for sharing. Michael says bye. Stian loves it.
Right.
Wilfredo too. Sean as well.
Yeah.
I should have used this one. I didn't know. He said, "Do you drink Fizz Buzz?"
We didn't get Fizz
It's
Buzz
mandatory at Coder Foundry. We insist all students only drink Fizz Buzz on site.
A subscription. So.
Yeah. That's funny. We want a Fizz Buzz vending machine. I think that's the next That's the next evolution of Fizz Buzz is the Fizz Buzz vending machine. Because we don't have a vending machine. We have a vending machine in the office, but it's not a Fizz Buzz vending machine.
Yeah. So I'd like to have a Fizz Buzz vending machine.
And Pepsi, for some reason, refuses to add it to the Pepsi vending machine.
I know.
I don't know why.
Pepsi won't pick our drink up. They should. It's North Carolina.
Yeah.
Pick up our Fizz Buzz. That's what they should do.
I don't know. It's weird. There you go. Here we go. Next rank seg is this project available on GitHub? How important is it to have your project as repos for recruiters to know how you work?
So what I would say is it's more important to have it hosted. I'm sure her project is out on Git. I'm not sure if it's public or private. But I think it's important that you have it hosted. Repos aren't very good for recruiters because they're never going to download a repo and try to get it running. So even though they can look at commits and file structures and all that kind of stuff, I get that. But like they're not going to look at as easy it is to demo her app with just clicking through the demo links. And that's good enough to get you a callback. And then the hiring manager may look through your GitHub repo after they're already involved with you and you're doing the interview stage.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's so abstract, isn't it? You need a technical person to look at it. Yeah. Whereas if you have it published, it doesn't have to be a technical person.
A recruiter can click on a demo link and real easily. And most recruiters aren't technical and they're never going to clone a repo out of GitHub or Git.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. Here you go. Beth said she took notes. That's what a great portfolio and app looks like.
Yep,
So
that's
cool.
true, Beth.
That's
I mean,
cool.
that's just kind of what we try to make here at Coder Foundry, and that's we're trying to show you kind of where we set the bar at.
I'm actually working on a video right now too about portfolios. So we're gonna have a longer form video about portfolios, telling you exactly what to put on it, what sections to put on it, what kind of stuff to put on it. So we're gonna have that coming up.
Yeah.
Victor wanted to know, is the bootcamp available virtually or just in person?
Yes, it is, Victor. Yes, go to coderfoundry.com/virtual.
So you can go right here. You do have to be US based though.
Yep.
For that to be a virtual student. It's not global at the moment.
Right.
But we do have our class is virtual at the moment.
Right. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. The reason we're not doing a US outside the US is licensing, and we don't know every job market around the world. So I don't know if we can deliver or make the same outcomes for someone in another country.
Exactly. We try and guarantee big things, and it's hard to deliver big things globally.
Yeah. But if you're in another state in America, then we feel like we can make sure that happens.
Yep. I don't want to Fizz Buzz IV. Maybe that's the next logical progression of Fizz Buzz. If we just don't bother with vending machines, we'll go straight to IVs.
Yeah. I'm sure that won't cause any problems.
It's fine. We'll do it in Vegas. It's fine in Vegas. Everything's fine in Vegas.
Yeah. So what's he saying?
Let's see.
So
best
one
way
thing,
to speed up load time on bug trackers.
I'm assuming he's in the class. I mean, I could be wrong, but if not, the thing you can do is for Azure free tier is very slow anyway. But what you can do is during a demo, if you click through the links first, it will preload those pages. You also can look at your queries performance to see if you have any long running queries or queries that aren't performing well. Check the indexes on your tables inside of Bug Tracker. Even if you've done code first, make sure that you have the proper indexes on the things that you're searching for. So any column in a where clause or in a link statement pretty much needs to be indexed. So that's what you can look at. So
good tips. This might be a really broad question, but I guess you can give a really broad answer too. How is real world deployment of a website brought about?
Mm-hmm. So real world is continuous integration. So you're committing to a Git repo, and then that Git repo is being built and published to a website. How we do it here in Coder Foundry, there is a publish profile for Azure, and you can publish straight from Visual Studio. What's happening behind the scenes in both of those cases is a file copy. It's copying it to the correct folder. But continuous integration is building it, pushing it to a certain environment, and then pushing it from those environments, like from QA to production. So
here's a great question. Next ranks with the killer questions today. I like this one. What are the plus functionalities or the add-ons for projects should have whenever possible, like adding PWA functionality, etc.?
Yeah, so I think there's three major things that needs to have, which is a login. You need to implement security on your application. So if your test project, your dev project isn't big enough to warrant security, then you need to rethink the project and come up with a bigger reason to have roles and permissions and things like that. It needs to have a backend and hit a database. So that could be SQL, that could be MySQL, Postgres, whatever you want to do there, but it needs to hit a database. And I think you should use some kind of ORM like modeling. We use Entity Framework at Coder Foundry. There's a lot of ORMs out there so that you can have models between your database. So I think those are the architecture and plus functionalities I think every project should have. So anything else would be a feature to the specific domain you're coding. So I don't know.
Right. But those are the general things.
General ones. Yeah.
It's a good thing. And we get asked this sometimes. And we've been down this road before. Part-time boot camps.
We can't do it mainly because our 12 weeks turns into 24 to 36 weeks. Yep. And it's hard for our instructors to work that schedule and teach a full-time boot camp. It's hard to staff. And then we just believe the compressed time frame produces better results anyway.
Yep.
We've done it 2 or 3 times, and it's just not exactly like the way we want it. So what we're trying to say is we think 12 weeks in person, 3 months, or virtual is the way to go.
Yep.
That's the way we're going to teach it. There are other people that do part-time though.
Yep.
So
yeah, it is an option in the market. We just don't do it. And we don't do it because we don't do it, not because we can't do it. We just don't think it works very well.
Yeah, for us. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here you go. C# and its frameworks versus Java and its frameworks, which is more grasp for the future for someone choosing the path to learn full stack dev for cross-platform and cloud-native apps?
So my opinion here is C# the way to roll. So C#, you build ASP.NET or Razor pages for full stack web dev.
So you're saying Java sucks?
No, I'm not. Java, you can do the same thing with Spring MVC. Obviously, you can do something like that. You can take its framework. And then for cross-platform, that's Xamarin on the C# side, something like Flutter on the Java side. And then cloud native apps is Azure or AWS. So multiple languages of support up there. So if you're doing like serverless functions or microservices, all that can be done with C# or Java. So I think mainly in the cloud native apps, they're going to ask you, are you on AWS or Azure? So you need to definitely pick between one of those 2 platforms if you're starting out. And what I would caution you is pick C# or Java and stay with it until you get a job and then learn something else. But we think ASP.NET for full stack web dev is the way to go right now. We think it's the most opportunity in the US is for these stacks. I'm not saying that Java doesn't have its merits. It absolutely does, but you have to pick one or the other. We picked C# because that's what we did. That's what we know. That's what the consulting company does. And it's supported by Microsoft. It's in high demand. That's why we picked it. Obviously Java's in high demand as well. So pick one of them and just roll with it all the way to the end. So if you're doing Java, you're going to be on like Flutter, which is actually Dart, but I think Kotlin and Java can be supported in there in the Google platform for native. So, all right, cool.
Okay, cool. Couple things to
we'll roll
out here at the end. So today is the first time we actually pushed out live to Facebook too today. This is live on both YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
So we got 3. I see it in the top. We got 3 little thumbs up on Facebook. So thanks, Matt, Shane, and Michael for watching us on Facebook. That's cool.
All right, Facebook. All right.
We appreciate it. So we're trying Facebook too. Why not?
Yeah.
This cool platform we have has a cool CDN that allows us to push for multiple platforms. We're trying to get on LinkedIn as well. Takes a minute longer, but we're trying to get there. So that's cool. We'll go through a few questions here at the end too. Just a couple things. If this is your first time here, thanks for joining us. We super appreciate it. If you've been here multiple times, we thank you too. The only reason we come back is because you guys keep coming back. I noticed some people joined that thing today like hours early. So thanks. If you leave a comment there and it's hours early, we do see it. I will see. I'll be like, someone's there, and it's like 2 hours early. Like I've barely even woke up yet.
Typically for us, our production schedule is 10 a.m. between 9 and 10 a.m. We'll publish the thing out, and so we can start reading comments, and then we're here all morning until it goes live. So,
pretty much.
Got a good question here. What do you think of this one? Read this.
Struggling with confidence in skills learned from bootcamp. Okay. What are the best ways to strengthen foundational skills online? And what are the best ways to optimize LinkedIn profile?
So here's the thing that you can do with your confidence in your skills from a bootcamp, whether that was Coder Foundry or somewhere else. Build a project. Just totally build a project right today. Start today and start building a project. And that's the best way to strengthen your foundational skills. I don't think if you've been to a bootcamp of any count or any merit, whether that's as good or better than Coder Foundry, you should know enough to start building a project and get out of tutorials and start building something. And then your LinkedIn profile, you need to put your work on there. So that means your portfolio is referenced there. And then you can also write posts and articles on technical things. So, I think that's what you can do.
Definitely. Definitely. We have a couple of first-time people here. So Next Rank's first time here. Great questions today, by the way.
New sub, yes. All right.
New sub. Thank you very much. And the same for Mo and Ish here too. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
We're here every day at noon, so we try to be.
Until no one shows up, and it's just me and Kevin.
Yeah, and then we'll still do this. We just won't be live.
Yeah, we'll just call each other. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So again, if this is your first time here and you're interested in Coder Foundry as a bootcamp too, you can go to coderfoundry.com/job roadmap. You can sign up there and get our 5 steps to breaking in. If you're interested in actually attending too, you can go to coderfoundry.com/virtual. And you can get all the details there about being a virtual student. And this is something we'll probably talk about at some point too in the future, but we never talk about we never really overtly talk about like Coder Foundry bootcamp here in terms of like attending and that stuff. So maybe we'll do one of those at some point in the future where we talk about like people that do want to attend. And if you're not interested in the overt advertisement, you don't have to come to that one. But we should talk about ISAs and that kind of thing at some point. Yeah,
exactly. Like
there's a new way you can pay. There's a new way you can pay for school in the US, and we're on the sort of cutting edge of that with offering income share agreements. So it's a new way. If you think you can't afford a boot camp, you can, because there's zero money up front. So.
Right. Okay. You can. There's an affordable way to do it, and that's all on our website. So again, what we try to do here for this channel is not to be like a total Coder Foundry commercial. So we realize that some of you are outside the US, a lot of you are, and so like you can't come here, and we understand that. So we want to try to give away as much information as possible to help you break in. So
definitely. Yeah. Steen says we should talk more about ourselves.
Nah.
We're not that interesting. And I did work at Apple. Yeah. I'm just going to say that I did work there very, very briefly, but I worked there.
Yeah, I did not.
That's my entire background I'm going to give you right there.
Yeah.
So cool. We're back tomorrow.
We'll be back tomorrow. We got a guest for Friday. We'll announce that later.
We do. We have another guest for Friday. That's super cool. So somebody similar who has been in the field for a couple years now.
3 years after Coder Foundry.
Is it 3 years? Wow.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to her and see kind of what she's doing.
I love her career path.
Yeah.
It is super, super good. Like she's just gone rocketed up. Like every step has just been better than the last one.
So maybe she can provide insight how she did this and like what she's doing. So super smart.
Yep, definitely.
And then if you're out there and you're a lady, man, I just hope that you can look at Shanese and the people we're bringing in. Like if you're a lady and you don't believe that there's no women in tech, you got to get the skills and you can break in and you can just do it. So
100%.
Don't believe it's like there are some gatekeeper dudes out there. I understand that, but like, don't let them stop you. Just go for it and learn how to code and break in, whether you come to Coder Foundry or not.
Definitely.
And Derek is asking when she's gonna be on. She'll be on Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
He must know who we're talking about.
Oh, maybe. So
I think Friday. He knows her. I'm not sure if he does or not.
Oh,
so
maybe. I don't know.
We'll announce it later. So we got.
But yeah, Friday. So and I may do this Al too.
Okay, we might do it.
Do a Discord server. Yeah, because you guys like chatting amongst each other, and that's cool. And we would like to make a platform where we can chat with you guys too outside of this. So that'd be cool. So maybe I'll set that up. Maybe I'll do that this afternoon.
Yeah, and so maybe we'll do something on COVID. It's in general, Sean, it's impacted it. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
So what we're trying to tell students now is don't give up. This will pass eventually, and then the job market will get back to normal. There may be more opportunities for remote development out of this, and maybe a lot of companies will change how they hire and then how they work. And so if remote, even though remote development is a thing now, if it becomes more like totally commonplace, that means that in the US you can work for any company and you can live wherever you want. So but right now, I would say job postings are down, but like I said, Shanice got a job. She starts Monday. We've had other people get gigs, so it's possible to do. You just got to stay committed. Now, what I would say this, Sean, is like a lot of people are, sometimes employers are less posting things, but also job seekers have like quit too. So if you stay not quitting, then you'll get the job that you're looking for, because there's less people looking, even though there's less jobs out there. So don't quit and just keep coding and keep learning.
Maybe we can convince Natasha or Mary Hannah to come on, and talk about the job market, because that's who we work with within Coder Foundry.
Right. So. Hey, I'm hoping that was inspirational. And what I would say to Excel is how you eclectic.
It's going to be eclectic. Yep.
Yeah, eclectic. What I would say is reach out to her on Twitter or whatever and try to connect with her, and you guys encourage each other. I think that's great. Shanese is a super talented, super nice lady, and I just enjoyed working with her. The moment she came in there, I was like, wow, she's totally different. She's going to go on to big things. I can promise you.
Definitely.
She's what we call a 5-star. She's got it all, man. Graphics, design.
Yep.
Well spoken in person. She's nice. She's not grumpy coder person. And she's smart, and she can do the back end, the front end, everything. She's the full package. Any company that hired her would be lucky to get her.
100%. There's one thing we didn't promote for Shanese too. So Shanese also has a t-shirt design company.
Oh yeah,
that she runs on the side too. So you guys can check it out. It's www.theblackprint.design. Yeah. And Shanese does custom t-shirts there too. So you guys can check that out.
Yeah.
It's like a Renaissance lady.
Yeah, exactly. She's doing it all. So, all right. Well, good luck, guys. I hope this helped. We'll be back tomorrow. And as I always say, good luck and just keep coding.
See you guys tomorrow.